All right, I'm pretty sure we're recording. All right, guys, so we've got our first podcast, our chat with the South Harrow crew, Premier South Harrow, for the youngest, or among the youngest instructors we've got. So I've got Mr. Douglas, got Dion, and I've got Winding. Jack here, the two guys that are in control of Team South Harrow. So how's your lockdown going, gents?
Good. It's obviously annoying having to be inside all the time, but it's good that we've got the classes that we're running, keeping us active, and yeah, enjoying running those classes.
Yeah, it's good. Just trying to find things to do, you know, spend jobs at and all that to make sure obviously you're not bored each day. That obviously gives you a bit of an incentive to do something every day. Just trying to keep fit, make sure obviously you're using each day wisely, and yeah, just trying to survive off each day, I guess.
And there's a lot of planning that goes behind that as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of planning. I mean, as you know, with the team meetings, we're constantly looking to put more out and do more, but the stuff that we're already doing keeps us busy, planning, making sure that everything runs smoothly. From behind the scenes, there's a lot going on that lots of students and parents won't see, but has to be done to make sure that we can provide the service that we do.
Yeah, and I think go on, Jack.
Yeah, pretty much same thing as Dylan, really. Obviously, just making sure obviously we try to do the best on our behalf, so everyone can see that we're still making an effort and we're not just sort of forgetting about them, making sure that we're still staying active. And we want obviously them to stay active as well. That obviously really helps with the whole scheme of things.
Yeah, I think for me, it definitely helps keep me sane, because part of my day is planning, thinking about what am I going to do? What did we do yesterday? What was the feedback? How did people pick up with it? How can we progress onto something that's exciting to teach and different, but same enough that we can see progression just like we would in a normal class. So there's a lot of planning that goes behind. We don't just kind of switch on and think about what we do there and then. There's a lot of planning that goes in. So good job on that one, guys. It's nice to have you on the team. I'm sure everybody appreciates it. We're getting so much love for it, which is good. I wanted to have a chat with you guys also, so everyone can understand where you guys came from, how you ended up being instructors of the South Harrow Academy. So I guess if we start with Dion, because he's the manager and the head instructor at the South Harrow Academy. What's your story, my man?
Well, I started kickboxing when I was 14, back in 2013 now. And really, the only reason I joined was because my friend at the time was Mr. Golden's cousin. And we kind of knew each other and went to a few family different events and kind of seen him. And he was telling me about the fact that he taught kickboxing around at Premier. And I lived so locally that it just made sense to go around. So I came from a trial with my friend Sean. We both signed up. And, well, the rest is history, really. I've stuck and I've stayed since then.
So how many years is that?
That's 2013, so 14. I was 14, so 7 years. 7 years I've been training, nearly 8.
Good stuff. So you come a long way in that short time.
Doesn't feel that long though.
No.
Feels like just yesterday.
And how did you get? I think your screen is frozen, so we can hear you, but I can see your smiley face, so that'll do. So how did you get involved?
I didn't get that.
How did you get involved in teaching?
Hello?
Oh, we've lost you.
I lost the connection.
We've lost you. All right, so I'll tell you what. Try and reconnect. Oh yeah, we got you. You're back. So we heard.
Yeah. I worked hard. I started as a mat helper in Ricelet.
He's got a dodgy connection up there, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has.
We'll let him sort his connection out, and we'll pass that same question off to Mr. Binding. When did you start?
So I started back when I was 6 years old. So yeah, sort of around 2006, 2007. So quite a long way ago now. Obviously started off probably in our, I think it might have been our Dragons. We might have just started Dragons then, or beginner classes. I'm not quite too sure of. Just sort of followed down what a couple of my friends have been doing from primary school. And just sort of find the same things there. And again, just sort of growing up obviously through our system of the intermediate and advanced classes. Obviously then got to 10 years old, in which I received my black belt, which obviously was quite a rewarding thing for me, obviously still is to this day. And obviously, just from 10 years old up until I'm 19 now, it's just obviously been a massive part of my life. It's taken up more of my life than it has anything else. So, yeah.
And you went through. I think you were the first person to go through our apprenticeship scheme, right?
Yeah, I was the first person to go through the apprenticeship scheme. So I had a couple of ideas what I wanted to do after school, but never one direct route or path. And I remember just sort of taking half a class one day. It must have been on a Wednesday or Thursday after I'd come back, obviously from school. And I was taking a class down in our Rice Academy, and I remember getting asked up, obviously, to see Mr. Golding and Mr. Bartholomew. I'm thinking, oh God, what have I done here? What have I done wrong? Or have I said something? And all of a sudden, they sort of said, obviously, we're really happy with how you've been doing, Jack. Have you got any idea of what you'd like to do after school? Obviously, I gave them the ideas that I wasn't too sure, and obviously, very shortly after, they gave me the idea of perhaps becoming their first apprentice. Obviously, I jumped to the idea, and obviously, never looked back.
So, how long have you been teaching now? When did you finish that? How long was the apprenticeship? Let's say that.
Oh, that was about a year, just over a year and a half. About 18 months.
And you completed that how long ago?
I completed that back. When was it? Back pretty much this time last year, actually. Back sort of last March or April time. Yeah.
Right, and you're pretty much running with it, because I remember when you first started. I remember your parents bringing you down.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. But
yeah.
I remember you having like grading and then being really super nervous at gradings, and it really kind of affecting you all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, one of my black belt grades, I think I was the first ever person to actually be sick, which I don't know whether that's a pro or a con being the first of it, but I guess it's something that's gone down in the black belt history books, let's say. But then I guess even for myself now, it's something that I still even feel a little bit nervous about, especially going from a third degree. I was obviously very nervous on what to do, even though I kept thinking I'm an instructor, I know what to do, I teach it day in, day out, but it just wasn't going through my mind. But obviously done the grading, passed it, and obviously got rid of my nerves from there.
So we were saying, I was talking to Jenny earlier about that you've got, I think, quite a lot of experience to help out students, because having those nerves, overcoming those nerves. So when and if you have students that have those nerves, you've kind of had first-hand experience of,
I can sympathise with them a little bit.
Yeah, you can completely relate and advise them from a person that's been through it. And now here you are, running classes of all ages. So somebody that was really nervous to do a grading, now you can stand in a group of 30 people, whether they're kids or adults or black belts, that you can command that room. So it's a real good positive journey, and I think you've got a lot of experience to help out those students. From our perspective as people that run academies, I think it's important to have instructors like you guys that aren't just good at martial arts, which you clearly are, but you've got experience that can help in so many people. Just because you're good at kicking and punching doesn't necessarily mean that anybody's good at teaching a class at all levels and at all ages. You guys have come through the ranks at so many and had so many issues to deal with that you're far more equipped as an instructor to work with people. So, Mr. Dion, that before you come to close, we were asking you.
Out there.
The question: how did you get involved in teaching?
So I started off as a mat helper. So I was just training in our Rice Academy, and Mr. Golding approached me, or he might have messaged me, and said, I've got a voluntary role where you just need to come in, help out the students, learn the ropes kind of thing. And I was interested from the get-go. So I gave it a go. And then I think I only took about 2-3 weeks at that. And then he said, we're really happy with you. We're happy to offer you more of a paid role, more of a part-time role in the academy. I think I became the assistant instructor there, and worked my way up from there, really. But I've enjoyed everything that I've done. Any role that I've done with Premier, I've enjoyed it, and that's probably my why I get good at it, because I just enjoy working for Premier. It's a good company to work for, and I enjoy martial arts. And when you can do something that you enjoy as your hobby, as your job, then there's really no issues there.
Yeah, I think that's where, for me as well, it's a labour of love. It's never work. Yeah,
No, that's it.
We work. You know, we have to. There's a lot that goes on, and there's a lot of, you know, me as the academy owner, I require a lot from you guys. But for me personally, it's always a labour of love, especially through this crazy time that we're going through. I find myself up at 3 o'clock in the morning, organising my next day because I didn't realise it's 3 o'clock. It's like, oh my God, like, you know, I was just having fun planning classes and we could do this, we could do that. And all of a sudden.
Well, that's the same thing with our days. You turn up at 12 and the 8 hours just goes like that because you're constantly either doing something that you like where you're teaching or you're preparing to do that during the day. And the students and parents that come through the door as well, they're always so nice and willing to learn, and just makes for a really good environment.
Yeah, what I found is it's so easy to be passionate when you have passionate students. You know,
100%.
Their energy. We say a lot for the instructors that once you cinch the knot in our belt and we walk on the mat, you know, nothing else matters. Our outside issues and whatever problems we've got are irrelevant. As soon as I cinch the knot in my belt,
done.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm there to serve my students and help them out as best I can. But it is so easy to do that when you get positive feedback and passionate students, man. I can feed off that all day, you know.
And parents as well, you know. So you see some places where it's more of a daycare centre where people drop off and come and collect. Yeah. Where our parents stay and they want to be involved and they ask questions, it makes our job worthwhile.
Yeah, it does, we can see that online. How many parents?
Yeah.
I messaged a few parents. Just you could see them. They're there with their kid. Almost every online session, just being present, you know.
Yeah.
At such an awkward time, you know, parents, we've got a lot of responsibilities. You know, I've still got 2 kids, albeit pain in the bum teenagers, but you know, they're still kids that need getting out of bed and feeding. But with all those responsibilities that mum and dad, and probably money worries now as well, but to be involved in those small classes with their kids, I think, if we're going to take any positives away from this corona, that we get to spend more time with each other as a family. You know, you have to exercise together, you have to eat together, you have to, you know, your days are probably more scheduled now. Well, ours are, because of having 2 teenage kids. They're off here, you know, football and martial arts and stuff like that. That we're actually more scheduled. You know, we get up at this time, train at this time, we eat at this time. So I think a lot of parents as well are realising that although they didn't get involved before, they're probably quite like kickboxing or fitness of some kind, which is good to see. That's right. Yeah. So both your brother trains, right, Jack?
Yeah. So he actually stopped now. He stopped, I think, back last year. He obviously enjoyed it, but like a lot of our teams, especially near that exam season, he stopped just because he had other activities to follow. He's very into his filming. He's obviously been into some quite high hit TV shows. So he's on that front kind of thing. But kickboxing, obviously, while he was doing it, he did really enjoy it. He got, I think, up to our advanced yellow or green belt. So he's just started that sort of sparring era. Which I think we would have given him incentive to stay on.
What is he doing? When you said when he's doing filming, is he filming? So for example, he's been on Call the Midwife lots as like I don't know, like scouts and all that. He's met obviously lots of sort of famous actors. He's met people like Jude Law and Idris Elba, people that obviously are quite high up in the industry. Obviously, he's working his way up, obviously, to becoming, hopefully, one day, those sort of big stars. But it's a lot of hard work. It takes up quite a proportionate size of, obviously, his daily intake as well. So, look, if anything that he's on, they need a martial arts coordinator. Yeah, pretty much. Right? Funny you say that, because he was actually choreographed some cool moves. There was one scene that he had to do. I'm not too sure what film it was for a TV series, but he actually had to play a part in which he had to do like a fight scene, and he was getting makeup covered to make it look like he had bruises all over him. So I think that did kind of help with obviously what he'd done prior to it, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah, I'm there. The martial arts choreographer. Yeah. Make sure he gives you a call. Nice. So, what are you guys doing with your days now? What are you up to apart from dedicating your days to your students?
Um, I think it's just like everybody else, really. Obviously, enjoying the weather while it is, staying fit, staying active. Obviously, trying to promote that staying fit, staying active to everybody that can view us and that can see and hear from us. Just trying to be positive, but yeah, trying to be positive. Obviously, it's quite a negative time at the minute. Nobody can obviously do their normal things, so just trying to stay active, trying to stay positive, trying to obviously keep that clean, that fitness resume ongoing. I think is vital, obviously, in the situation that we are in now.
Yeah, same. I've been other than obviously working, teaching classes and working behind the scenes. So I try and get out and do at least one run or long kind of slow jog a day, just to keep fit. It's given me a good opportunity though to get my eating and diet in order, because I'm just inside all day. So I get to kind of home cook everything as opposed to catching something quick on the go, like I might usually do. So it's given me a good chance to get my diet in order and my health in order as well. And obviously with the good weather, it's nice to get out into the garden, do a bit of workouts if you can. But obviously when it rains, it's a little bit harder. But we've been blessed with nice weather for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine we're all on lockdown and it's freezing cold outside and dark?
Yeah.
It'd be so hard to want to get out.
You should be cooped up inside.
Snowing and ice and raining and grim.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you guys are complete opposite to me. When we first went on lockdown, I was super active. We're lucky enough to have kettlebells, and I've got battle ropes and a punch bag. So we were doing circuits, but that was probably for the first week, and then for
short-lived.
Fun. And I just suddenly, it was yesterday, weirdly enough, I was like, oh my God, I've done nothing really. So yesterday I was back out on my runs, squats, kettlebells. I'm definitely feeling those squats this morning.
Yeah.
I was trying to demonstrate some kicks last night after those kettlebell squats. That's so stiff.
But, so you don't exercise for a while and then you do it once, and the next day is always a task.
Yeah, we were super active for the first week, and then the novelty of all the cool stuff in the garden sort of wore off. But we're back on it now, so hopefully. But the eating is always, I think, really difficult when you're at home all day to stay clean in your eat. Well, I find it hard.
And not snack.
Easy just to snack. Yeah, super easy just to snack. I'm behind the laptop planning the day. Grab a little snack and little coffee, and you have a little snack with the coffee. It's so hard. So I've got to kind of plan my day a little bit better and discipline myself. So the days I've been on that one. So hopefully I won't feel, when we get back into training, like fully, I won't feel so much. But I've been seeing videos from our other guys that Niels and Jacob, a couple of the guys, man, they're smashing.
They've been getting on their workouts.
Every day. Yeah, so I've trying to take a leaf out of their book. But
I think we all need to,
Yeah, super good at those guys. Yeah. So how many more weeks do you reckon we've got of this?
I don't know. I hope not long. I've got my birthday coming up in June, so let's hope it's before that, so I can get out and enjoy that. But it's just crazy. I'm hoping that after this 3-week extension, they're gonna start maybe lifting some of the rules. But I'm not sure how long it's going to be until we're completely back, open and running and free to do what we want to do.
Yeah, I think also people will probably be a bit nervous about coming back so soon. We do everything we can in the academies, like we did before we went. We machine clean as well as go around and clean ourselves. But we get an external company that you guys know that you organise it, right? Get the external companies in to steam clean and disinfect the mats and the toilets and the pads and anything that gets touched. But I mean, I like to think, I think there's going to be a bunch of people that are a bit nervous with it and a bunch of people that are just desperate to get back. I know I'm desperate to get back. So,
I've had a few messages from parents or adults in my adult class just saying that it's killing them being inside. They need to be back on the mat and training, and I think everybody's taking a hit, whether you're a runner or a kickboxer or a footballer. You just want to be out doing what you like to do.
That's right, yeah. Just some normality, I don't want this lockdown life to become normal.
No, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get back to my old life.
Yeah, I think that's important. So what you're saying is, on your birthday, we're all invited around your house. So everyone watching the podcast now, we're all invited around your house.
Well, I think my mum and dad
that's
might have a hand for
I think.
everyone. Make sure my mum prepares a big bit of food.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so that's a deal. It's in. We're wicked stuff. So, what have you got? You've got no classes today?
No, not today. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Friday, Saturday is my days.
Is there any of those classes that you find that are more challenging than others?
Naturally, the advanced classes, because of the fact that we're doing them in our front rooms and our living rooms, and it's tough. Some of the jump kicks and spin kicks, you need to be careful not to knock the TV off the frame. But it's tough in that way that, you know, a lot of our combos might include like clinch work and different catches, and a lot of it requires a partner, so it's tough. But I think we've adapted well to teaching people that are training by themselves, or with a punch bag, or with a mom or dad, somebody who isn't in training themselves. I think our classes are really well planned out to cater for everybody, no matter what your level, no matter if you've got a partner with you or not. And I think because we are planning the classes and making sure that there's a good kind of curriculum to them, they go so quick. I mean, before I know it, I'm already ending the class, which is good.
And sometimes I need longer. I'm like, I haven't finished.
Yeah. Run over slightly. Yeah.
I think as well, it helps with the fact, especially when we're on the mats teaching, it's very easy to say, oh, when you get home, practice this, or have a stretch in front of the TV, and kids and all adults just go, yeah, whatever. But now that we've actually sort of reinforced and been able to do drills or even sessions and classes at home in your kitchen, outside in your front room, it's just sort of reinforcing that fact of, even when you are at home or you're not at the academy training on the mats, you can still do a little workout, whether it is a stretch or it is practicing a drill or a kick. So it's just going to help, obviously, get those people reminded, you know, you can still work outside as well as inside.
You do see that a lot. I think a lot of our academies kind of best students that are achieving double gradings and getting high scores in gradings are the students that do put in the work at home, stretch in front of the TV. And you hear it, like Sir said, we tell them all the time to do it, but now I think is showing them that it can be done. And even after a class, when you get home, just to stretch for 10, 15 minutes will improve your technique and get you higher scores and hopefully that next belt.
It's so easy to see when I get round to, you know, the gradings every few months. It's so easy to see who practices at home. You know, if you train,
puts in the extra work.
Look, people are going to get good if you do something consistently over time. If you come to classes twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you're going to get good, and you will be, or people will be, a black belt, and they'll be a good level black belt. You know, we don't give it out just for giving out's sake. But it is so clear to see at a grading, you know, one of the kids comes up and says, oh, sir, I've been practicing at home. I'm like, I know. You don't have to do it. I can see it. I can see the level compared to others. Or even if I'm not comparing them to others, I compare them to themselves. So let's say they were, I don't know, an 8 out of 10 in the last grading, and I'm expecting them to be, you know, an 8 out of 10 again because they're good, and they're 9.5 out of 10. They're like, I know exactly why you're the 9.5 out of 10, because you put in the extra time in. It's clear, it's blatant. So, and I say to my kids so often that what you practice in private, you get rewarded for in public. It's not necessarily you have to be selfieing and posting and stuff like that. It's just graft. It will get noticed, you know.
Yeah, the results show.
First week or the second week or the third week, maybe the first year, but it will get noticed. And even if you're not doing it for notice, for other people to notice, for you, you know you're putting what you need to put into it. If you don't have the time to practice at home and those 2 to 3 classes a week are your time, then dedicate your time, you know. But everybody has more time than they think they do. I think
100%.
We've all got the same 24 hours, but some people achieve more.
Definitely.
That achievement may not be in martial arts. Maybe, you know, you've got all those NHS workers out there that in their 24 hours, they're achieving massive things. You know, maybe they're not stretching in
saving lives.
Right, but they're achieving massive things. So their 24 hours is set to achieving a different goal, whereas a martial artist's goal is this, or a footballer's goal is that, or a mathematician's goal is this. So wherever you put your energies, I think you'll get the rewards the more you do it. That's where I'm coming from. That's what I think.
I think that the whole lockdown situation is making people realize that, you know, going out, eating out, and doing all the things that you usually have to pay for really isn't necessary. It's making people realize what's important. Staying healthy at home doesn't cost a thing. Being around your family and your immediate family that love you and you can spend decent quality time with is important. Again, doesn't cost anything. I think it's important to take the positives from the lockdown, even though there's so many negatives.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do as well. I think even financially is going to be so hard on so many people, but the positives are the family time. Maybe we're not spending so much money on petrol. Maybe we're not spending so much money on eating out or travel expenses. I don't know. So as much as we may be losing a wage, but we're not spending as much. So the percentage, maybe that we're not losing 100% of a wage. Maybe we're losing a certain percentage because there's expenditure isn't there. Yeah. I'm trying to take some kind of positive. It's tough, but I'm trying to find some kind of spin, some positive. But
well, and it's so easy to sit here and list off the negatives.
Yeah. Whenever I go out, I do see so many families are out together. You know, mum, dad, kids on bikes with both parents.
Yeah, I see that.
How often does that happen?
Yeah, you don't see that a lot.
No.
Usually they get given an iPad or a phone and sat in front of the TV. But when that's all your day consists of, sometimes it's nice to get out.
Yeah, that's right. Or maybe, you know, one of the parents working, kids have gone out, or you know, I don't know. Dad's watching football on a Sunday, so you know, kids go down the park with mum, or whatever thing it is. So now everybody's
it's good to see
each other. You know, I guess I read something the other day that much younger kids don't appreciate what's going on. All they'll do is in years to come, they'll look back on this time and go, "Oh yeah, I remember that time Mum and Dad were always around."
Yeah.
My dog doesn't know what the hell's going on.
I was just going to say, my dog is the luckiest dog on earth. Usually we're all out. We leave her for about 3 or 4 hours a day by herself, and she sits by the window waiting for us to come back. Now she sits at the bottom step waiting for us to come down the stairs.
That's right, yeah. Get like 2 walks a day, treats all day long, played with.
It's going to be the fittest dog in Ruislip.
So guys, I think we'll call it a day. If there's anything else you want to go to, it's our first one. I've said we'll do about half an hour or so just to find out a little bit of what you guys are up to. Maybe your students and other students can and on a different kind of basis than teaching jab cross and a spinning kick.
Well, I think that unless you read the instructor bio in the academy or you sit down and have a conversation with an instructor, really all you get to see is the instruction side of it. So it's good to hear about what we get up to in our spare time, because we're only human.
Right. And I think what's the cool thing is that you guys are students too. You know, you have been white belts. We've all been white belts through doing all color belt gradings, then the black belt grading, and still students now training. You know, we're not just martial arts. So
and even now, exactly.
Yeah, we don't, because we're instructors, we don't stop becoming students. You know, we're developing ourselves all the time too. You know, I enjoy training and getting battered like everybody else does. I'm getting older.
It's important.
Yeah. But so good stuff, guys. Thank you very much for being on the first one. Thank you very much for your support. And stay safe, and we'll hopefully be punching and kicking each other on the mat anytime.
Cool. You too.
Have a good one, guys. See you soon.
See you later. See you in a bit.
Ciao.